You guys know what day it is. We're a little late. We're having technical difficulties. It's going to be me for the most part tonight. Jelly's going to be making some guest appearances for a little bit here and there. Uh, it's a madhouse, and I don't mean just because this is the madhouse, but it's a madhouse. I get in a plane. Well, Jelly gets in a plane tomorrow morning after driving all day today. Get back to Wisconsin, where he's at, Milwaukee. Then he's flying out down to Houston, and then we're driving from here in Oklahoma City tomorrow morning from Houston, and we're all going to be getting on a boat down in Galveston, Texas, and taking a cruise. Going to have a good blast. Me and my wife and him and his girls going to have a lot of fun. But we're trying to, since we're not going to be having one next week, we're going to try to do a double episode of the Golden Records because, well, we freaking love you guys. We wanted to give you guys a little something, a little greatness, golden age greatness, before we just said, all right, see you guys. And, it's just pissing us off because, that's how it works. First off, y'all know me, J1, A-Bob. Jellyfingers will be here very soon. Do some shout outs. We got Mr. L Green Machine giving us that first like for Pete Sake. I've never read this one. Excited for this playback. I'm telling you, you shouldn't have because it's an original story. That's the thing. It's an original story. Unless you bought this golden record or the comic or whatever, right? You've never read it. It's going to be the same way with the Batman story. I'm excited for it. David Reese, how's it going, brother? MadHouse Comics, hey, that's me having technical difficulties. Sorry about that. Stream Elements, you're always here with us, and I appreciate it. Thanks, brother. But the good news is that we are going to have the Golden Age Superman story playing. The bad news is, for some reason, the first half is audio only. The second half has the comic and everything else. So we're still going to play it. You're just going to have to use your imagination for the first half until we get back from our vacation, and we'll do a redo. We'll plan it, and we'll do a redo out there, okay? We put way too much time and effort into these to let something like this just stop us. And not just time, effort, but fucking energy and a lot of money. These things, they're not cheap. But, yeah, Pete Sake, yeah, exactly, man. It's an original story. I'll tell you, I'll grab them here in a second, and I'll show you some of the new ones we got coming, some of the others we got coming, because I found a guy in Canada that also likes the Golden Records, and I got a couple of really cool ones. They're not Marvel, they're not DC, but I think I honestly can't wait to hear one of them, especially. The one especially has got me like my spidey sense tingling, going, this needs to be heard. But I'll show you those here in a minute. Buddy, we're gonna have some. Yes, honestly, yeah. Send your complaints in the Jelly, because it's I handle the audio. He does the video compilation. It just didn't work out. But we try hard. We'll come back. And we'll do it again, and we'll give it the justice it deserves. I promise. And hopefully we won't have this kind of problem again, because damn it, it just sucks when you like I had this plan to go out with a nice bang before we leave, and it just didn't work out. But I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna put my feet up and I'm gonna close my eyes and listen to the first half, and then then I'll once we get to the second half and everything, we got the comic up again, I'll start paying attention, like actually reading along with the story. Besides the comic, man, we have had some crazy DC, right? We talked about it last week. And, I'm telling you, we met myself and Jelly, we talked about this the other day. And I'm telling you right now, if Disney continues the woke, Disney is going to do them. Disney is doing them no justice. I'm telling you. If Disney continues the woke, DCU will take over as the leader. I'm just telling you. They're not going to be afraid to go dark. They're not going to be afraid to kill people off and do the stories better, in my opinion. I'm a DC fan and a Marvel fan and an indie fan. Like you're talking about nowadays, what I like to read, I prefer indies, right? You talk about pretty much most of the Bronze Age. I liked. Oh, I agree, Pete Sake. I agree. They do. I mean, like you said, man, this is the best thing for Marvel's lovers. We need competition. I'm telling you. If Thor, Love and Thunder was not a wake up call to Marvel, I don't know what else to tell them. I mean that. You and James Gunn, even though he came in and he cleaned house, he did it for a fucking reason. He's doing what Marvel did almost 20 years ago. And look how much everybody loves Marvel now, right? Look how freaking loved Marvel is. If he does what Marvel did 20 years ago and just pumps these movies out one after another, doing your character intros, doing your build up stories, your backstories, and everything else, and then he builds the fucking Justice League, and I mean he just does it right. God damn, I've got goosebumps, right? Like I want to see some dark stuff. I do, and I'm looking at the lineup of movies they have, and MCU is going to have to fucking step it up. I can tell you that. Pardon my language, but they're gonna. We have just unsurmountable amount of stuff that's going to be coming out and showing you guys on all these different upcoming movies and everything. And we'll get to it, but it's going to be a couple weeks down the road. I mean, you got to think he literally just announced it. We're probably 3 years away from the first movie. But you know what? I don't care. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. I am. I truly am. And I'll be honest, get those DC keys now. Because I've already seen a big market shift. I mean, some of the movies they've announced, books are shooting up and rocketing up. And if you want those high grade keys while you still can, you might be able to get them now, but in 6 months to a year, who knows? But again, Marvel, same way. Same way. Dr. Pepper. God, so good. My last one for the next week and a half. They don't drink it in the Caribbean. They don't the flavors. The flavor palette of Dr. Pepper is too similar to rum, and they don't like it. They don't drink it down in South America hardly at all, and they don't really drink it in the Caribbean. So that's my last treat to myself before we head out. But don't worry, I won't be thirsty. Mai Tais, margarita, Long Island's. There's plenty of other choices. Don't worry. I will not. I will not die of thirst. I'll make sure of that. we have a 15 drink minimum / maximum per day that I'll be looking forward to. I call it the minimum / maximum because I try to make sure I hit it every day. But that's when they cut you off too. But I usually try to start my day off with mimosas, maybe a Bloody Mary, depending. A couple hours later, maybe a beer or two, warming up to it. Lunch, maybe a margarita if I'm having tacos or something like that. Wine with dinner, of course. Maybe a beer or two throughout the afternoon. And then usually Long Island's. Exactly. Long Island's. Jelly's going to be just as drunk as I am, man. Don't worry. usually I finish the night off with Long Island's. That's usually the easiest way to get that good buzz going before bed. And I'll tell you one thing that I'm a huge fan of is pina coladas. I don't know why. I truly like them. I think it's the coconut. But Jelly should be popping in here any minute. He just arrived in Milwaukee, like right before I started the show, and I mean right before. He just got to his girl's house and pulled in, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let you go. He said, okay, I'm gonna hit start. I heard him say hi to her as he walks in the door. But I was trying to sound. Do you have another copy of this? Is this? Do you have it with you? And well, he didn't take his computer with him. He left his computer at his new place. Oh, let me show you guys. Let me show you. Let me show you. Here is. Here's a couple of the ones we have to look forward to here in the future, and I'm stoked. This one is like, yeah, okay, I'll still like it. It's going to be great. I'm going to enjoy it, but it's got nothing. It's got nothing on H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. I'm excited about this one. I am super duper excited about this one. It's going to be so much fun. I still have 2 more of these to try to find. Black Beauty and Mutiny on the Bounty. Who knows? Maybe I'll get them. Maybe I won't. I've looked around and found 0. But I'm going to tell you right now, this one right here, I'm excited for. Because The Time Machine, man, that was such a good story when I was a kid. And the movies, even the original, the remake they did, I love them. I think they're great. But yeah, super, super excited about this one. H.G. Wells, just pretty much one of the most classics. Yeah, wouldn't it be awesome if he got on here and it was in his voice? Classics Illustrated, The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, narrated by H.G. Wells. Gosh, damn, that would be awesome, right? But like I said, these are in the weeks to come. These are in the weeks to come. We still got a good little stack of books to go through, and we'll go back to the Tater Prime. How you doing, brother? We'll go back to doing the half episodes during the story because, well, half usually, lets us kind of spread them out a little bit. We can talk more about it. We can have some fun and talk about what's going on in the comic community, and it's a lot of fun. And I enjoy the rhetoric with shooting back and forth with Jelly, but I'm not seeing him yet. But what I'm thinking is why don't we go ahead and let's get this party started, and let's show Superman. Now remember, folks, I'm really sorry, but the first half is audio only, but the second half is with image, so you can just enjoy the audio like I will. Again, we will come back. We will retake this night, and we will do this again with the video as well. But with that being said, I'd like to say,
check out the big brain on Brad. You're a smart motherfucker, that's right.
I'm that guy. I'm Brad, but I'm not, right? I'm more this guy.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
Let's just be real, okay? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to have a good time. And thank you, El Green Machine. You're going to miss it, brother. I'm getting ready to start the story right as we speak. Where's it at? There we go. You ready? Here we go, guys.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Faster than a bullet, stronger than a diesel, leaps tall buildings in a bound. Is it a bird? No. Is it a plane? No.
Let me know, guys. Can you hear it?
It's Superman. In the thick of danger, helping friend or stranger, wherever evil can be found. Is it a bird? No. Is it a plane? No. Who is it? Superman. The origin of Superman. The true history of Clark Kent. From Super Baby to Super Boy to Superman.
Great Scott. That's a space rocket.
Land sakes. Then this child must be from another world. Oh, if only we had a baby of our own as sweet as he looks.
Oh my gosh. I forgot that the heat generated by my eyes would melt the glass. Fortunately, nobody saw this. I need super lenses. There's one hope.
I'll never forget my loving foster parents. But now I'll go and live in a big city. Metropolis. Then I'll get some sort of job as Clark Kent. Meek and mild-mannered as usual.
The inscriptions on the tombstones read, Jonathan Kent, Martha Kent.
That kryptonite, heading for me, can kill me. Already too close for me to get out of its path. Those rays, that imp... He's beating it like rat deserting sinking ship.
Plus a complete adventure. Superman's mystery power. Begin this classic on page 1. Superman.
Who is Superman? What other planet and super civilization did he come from? How did he gain his super strength, X-ray vision, and other miraculous powers? How did he, as Super Baby, first obtain the secret identity of Clark Kent? Where did Superboy get his super suit? When did the grown-up Man of Steel leave Smallville? Some of the fantastic facts have been previously revealed, but only a few at a time. Now, at last, here is the full, exciting story from beginning to end.
The story of Superman's life. Page 2.
Far in outer space, there once existed Krypton, a planet with a super civilization that was doomed to destruction from an internal nuclear chain reaction. Just before the planet exploded to fragments, a scientist placed his infant son within an experimental rocket ship and launched it into space. Time passed as the tiny rocket neared its destination, Earth. Upon landing, the impact tossed the baby out violently, but unharmed. For, as it later proved, all people and things from Krypton became invulnerable on Earth, and only the explosion of its super fuel had the power to wreck the rocket a moment later. Presently, as Jonathan and Martha Kent, who were then farmers, drove by on their way to Smallville.
Great Scott. That's a space rocket.
Land sakes. Then this child must be from another world. Oh, if only we had a baby of our own as sweet as he looks.
Childless, the Kents planned how to take the space foundling into their loving home. And that night...
If we just kept him, people would wonder where we found him.
We leave him at the doorstep of the orphanage. And a few days later, we can apply for his adoption.
The sign on the building reads, Smallville Orphanage.
Soon, Jonathan and Martha Kent returned after having taken out legal adoption papers.
He's ours now, Martha. Naturally, he'll have my last name, Kent. But his first name should be your choice.
I'll use my former last name before our marriage, Clark. Our son will be Clark Kent.
At home, later, it was the fond new foster parents who first discovered their baby's remarkable powers.
Me help you, Daddy?
Gee, Hossafat. How could you yank that stump out of the crown so easily, Clark? You must have muscles beyond the ordinary given you. Super strength.
In bewildering succession, the Super Tot's other powers were revealed, each more fantastic than the last.
Clark's gathering eggs for me at super speed.
Me see gold ring you lost, Mommy, under floor.
Gracious. He sees through solid things with X-ray vision.
Great Scott! Nature took ages to compress buried coal, or carbon, and convert some of it into its other crystalline form of diamond. Clark's super grip created an uncut diamond in seconds.
When the time approached for Clark to attend school, Mom and Dad Kent planned to move into Smallville, but faced another problem.
Oh, my gosh. Clark's riding his tricycle at super speed. The air friction set his clothes on fire. Nobody sees his super tricks here on our farm, but they might in town.
Clark needs a super suit.
Mom Kent had saved the baby blankets from the rocket, and when they were tested...
A pitchfork didn't pierce the yellow blanket. Fire didn't burn the blue blanket either.
And a shotgun blast makes no holes in the red one. The blankets are invulnerable, just like Clark.
Page 4.
Finding loose ends, Dad unraveled the blanket and solved a tough problem.
This is the only way to slice the super thread by having Clark use his heat vision at full power to burn it apart.
Snap!
Then, after Mom Kent rewove the super threads,
Whee! Me slide down barn roof.
Now splinters or nails can't rip that super play suit.
after selling their farm and moving to Smallville, Dad Kent opened up a general store.
Clark is starting school today, dear.
Get good marks, son, and I'll let you work in my store in your spare time.
The sign on the building reads, General Store.
Time passed, and after the Super Tot grew up into Superboy.
I unraveled your super play suit and rewove the threads into your new super costume, son.
Thanks, Mom. I'll begin my super career in public soon as we planned. I've gained full control over all my superpowers except one, flying.
Often when Super Baby had flown as a child, he had lost control in the air. Like the time he smashed into a fence. He needed more training to learn how to make accurate flights. Soon, out of town with Dad Kent's aid. I'll guide you in a circle, like a model airplane, until you gain skill in flying at high speeds.
Okay, Dad. Then I'll be ready for my first solo flight.
Eventually, in full control of his flying powers at any speed, Superboy captured criminals for the first time.
Yipes! We can't be missing at this close range. The bullets must be bouncing from that flying kid.
Right! You'll be behind bars before long. Call me Superboy.
The sign on the storefront reads, Jewelry.
This debut in public reveals Superboy to the startled world. Daily Planet. Boy of Steel aids law. Superboy displays amazing powers. Earth has super champion. But one thing was kept from the world.
In revenge against me, criminals might threaten you, Mom and Dad, if they found out I was your son. So I'll keep my secret identity as Clark Kent.
These glasses you made are a good idea, son. They'll help disguise you. But Clark soon ran into trouble when he used his heat vision.
Oh, my gosh. I forgot that the heat generated by my eyes would melt the glass. Fortunately, nobody saw this. I need super lenses. There's one hope.
Later, destiny
Again.
seemed to give Clark a helping hand as he examined the wreckage of the Krypton rocket in which he had arrived on Earth.
What luck. When the super plexiglass smashed, 4 fairly round pieces were formed. I can make plastic frames to conceal the uneven ridges. I'll have glasses both for my boyhood and manhood that are impervious to my heat vision.
Each time after his exploits, Superboy changed back to his everyday role of meek Clark Kent. But one day...
When you disappear, Superboy shows up. And when Superboy vanishes, you show up. Maybe you are the same person?
Oh, my gosh. My next-door neighbor, Lana Lang, is on the track of my secret identity.
Page 6.
Later, in Dad Kent's home workshop.
Why, what's that you made, son?
A Superboy robot, Dad. It will talk and perform just like me and fool Lana.
This, the first of the Superboy robots, lulled Lana's suspicions.
Goodness, there's Superboy. Then you, can't be him, Clark. Unless this is some trick.
She may be watching my home to see if she can glimpse me flying in or out as Superboy. But I'll fix that.
In his basement later, after Clark changes to Superboy,
First, I'll smash through the concrete floor and worm my way underground to form a permanent tunnel with an exit out of town. Now nobody, including Lana, will ever see me entering or leaving the house.
one joyful day, Crypto appeared on Earth. And after Superboy tracked down his rocket,
This Kryptonese record, put in an experimental rocket by my father, reveals how Crypto's rocket went adrift in space to land finally on Earth. My pet pup is back with me, grown up into a super dog.
Thereafter, between romps in outer space, Crypto often returned for superplay with his earthly master.
Come on, Crypto. Let's race around the world. Gosh, you're the only one with whom I can play super games. And you sure look great with that cape I made you.
Okay, guys, taking a quick pause because I wanted to make sure everybody was ready and was there. We are back. As soon as I hit play again, we will have video with it. But before we do that, maybe my good friend would like to stop in and say hi.
Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, what is up, everybody? This was actually a lot of fun to make. This golden record in particular, the story's really good, and it's simple writing but effective. It's a nice story, and I'll tell you what, I think I may have learned something in this record. I don't think I knew how he got the name Clark Kent. I didn't realize it was his mother's maiden name. I did not know that. I don't believe. And if I did, I forgot it.
I'm going to be real here. Unlike some of our Marvel counterparts, this story's actually tolerable and the written so much better.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure who actually wrote this, because this particular first part of the story was written specifically for this golden record.
Yes.
And this was a long time after Siegel and Schuster had already sold the rights. So I know it wasn't them.
No, I don't know. I know you got a lot of shit to do, my friend. Do you want to hang out for a little bit like this, or
yeah, we can do that.
Okay, I didn't know.
Unless you had something you wanted to talk about, if you do a quick intermission here.
No, man. I already blamed it all on you while we were waiting on you. It's okay.
Hey, Tater, how you doing, brother?
No, I talked about DCU is making some major fucking moves, and that MCU had better unwoke, or they are going to lose this battle. Because unlike Marvel, DCU will go dark. They will kill people. They will stay truer to storyline. I'm
100%.
looking forward to it.
I was reading an article the other day about, like, basically it was Kevin Feige against James Gunn.
Yep.
And everybody's predicting James Gunn is just going to, although Quantum Mania is getting rave reviews.
It is.
So, and you know what? I watched earlier this week. I watched Wakanda Forever.
And after the first half of the movie, you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the whole thing.
Really?
I loved it, dude. I thought it was fantastic. Like, it was entertaining. Yes, they went to the well a lot talking about, like, Black Panther's death, but it worked for the whole story. I think people just saw that, like, they thought they were just like, it was just a big eulogy for Chadwick Boseman, but I don't know, like, there was only a couple tongue-in-cheek things where they talked about, like, basically, like, bad things happening to good people and stuff, and how he was sick, and, you know, Black Panther should have died in battle or something like that. But
they should have CGI'd it.
Yeah, but I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, after hearing all of the negative comments about it, I kind of went in there a little half-cocked almost, but then I realized about halfway through, I was like, I am really enjoying this. The story is good. The visuals were stunning. And I did not have a problem with Namor being Mayan. And I really thought I would. But I think they did it well. I don't know why they changed it, what the point was, but I actually did not mind it.
I will give you guys my reviews on it next time we are here. I'm going to be watching it tomorrow.
I would just say go into it with an open mind because it's actually very enjoyable. I was absolutely shocked. I did not think I was going to like it that much, but it was, and especially Namor. I knew that was going to bother me, and it didn't. It didn't because it was, even though he was Mayan, it stayed really, really true to the character.
Oh, all right.
Really true to the character. Like, you're like, oh, he's a good guy. Oh, wait, no, he's not a good guy. Oh, wait, he's not supposed to be a good guy. It's good. I'll try not to give any spoilers away, but I was very pleasantly surprised, and I actually would love to watch it again.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You
Yeah.
heard it from the man himself.
Yeah. So, all right, I'll duck out. Get my bags packed.
No, that's why I need to hit play so I can get and finishing up everything else myself.
All right, guys. Well, we might have a video for you next Thursday. Something posted from a beach somewhere. We'll see.
Yep.
But if not,
who knows?
It might be 2 weeks before you see again.
Be good, everybody. Jelly, take it easy, bud. And
All right,
guys, here we go with video.
Superboy had another problem as trophies of his super deeds collected. Attic room, collection of trophies and super souvenirs. Bedroom, storeroom for Superboy and Clark robots. Basement room, super workshop.
There. Dad, let me build 3 secret rooms so that visitors will never stumble on any clues proving I live here as Clark Kent.
However, there was one mystery Superboy himself could never solve until one day when he sped far into space.
I overtook light rays that left Earth long ago, before my rocket landed. Now I'll watch my past unfold and find out why I gained superpowers.
Along with his super memory of his childhood on Krypton. This allowed Superboy to guess the truth, and later...
Look, Dad. Born on a giant world with heavy gravity, my muscles automatically became super strong in Earth's light gravity. I'm like the ant, which if it were man-sized could carry a locomotive. Grasshoppers could leap over buildings.
Krypton. Earth. Muscular powers. Super strength. Super breath. Super speed flying.
Now, notice that Krypton had a red sun, Dad. But only the ultrasolar rays of Earth's yellow sun can super-energize my brain and 5 senses to give me the other non-muscular superpowers.
Super senses and mental powers. X-ray vision. Telescopic vision. Microscopic vision. Super hearing. Super memory. Super calculations.
Also, those yellow sun rays which only tan Earth people's skin harden mine like steel. Radium rays, lightning, fire, nothing can harm me.
Lightning. Radium. Fire. Yet, one day Clark fell mysteriously ill.
Why, he has a raging fever, Jonathan.
But what could affect his invulnerable body? Could it be that green glowing meteor I found for Clark's mineral collection?
Page 8.
A series of tests proved the truth.
Lead is the one substance that stops these rays. But why does that green mineral harm you?
When Krypton exploded, all the fragments must have turned radioactive. Harmless to Earth people, it's deadly to me. I'll call it kryptonite.
Thus, forewarned, Clark Superboy Kent avoided his nemesis and grew to young manhood.
I could be the world's greatest football player, but I can't join the team and reveal my superpowers. Besides, it would be unfair to win that way. I'll have to pretend I'm meek and unathletic all my life.
Then came the day when Clark met one heartbreak, soon followed by another.
Mom Kent passed away a few hours ago, and now Dad Kent is on his deathbed. Choke.
There's not much time, son. Listen carefully to my last words. No one on Earth has your amazing superpowers, and you must always use them to do good. You must uphold law and order, aid those in need, and save lives. Good luck, my son, and goodbye.
He's gone.
Later, orphaned for the second time, Clark is ready to leave Smallville.
I'll never forget my loving foster parents. But now I'll go and live in a big city, Metropolis. Then I'll get some sort of job as Clark Kent, meek and mild-mannered as usual.
The inscriptions on the tombstones read, Jonathan Kent, Martha Kent.
As Superboy prepared to leave Smallville, after having said goodbye to Lana Lang, Police Chief Parker, and other officials,
I'll return secretly at night to remove my robots and trophies from the house. What's that crowd below?
it turned out to be a super surprise for the young man of steel.
Why, they're forming into letters. The whole town. Bidding me goodbye this way. They're making it hard for me to leave, but I must say goodbye to Smallville.
Farewell, Superboy. We'll never forget you.
After that came a wonderful farewell party where Superboy also did his part.
I knew I was coming, so I baked this super cake. Enough for everyone to have a slice.
Most people didn't eat that cake, but saved it as a souvenir. There must be hundreds of pieces still around in Smallville.
The sign reads, Superboy's Cake.
In Metropolis, after a time, Clark was finally hired as a reporter for the Daily Planet to meet lifelong friends in the years to come.
Lois Lane, girl reporter. Jimmy Olsen, cub reporter. Perry White, editor. They're all swell people, and this job allows me to get the news on crime beforehand and act swiftly as Superman.
After many super deeds, a grateful world honored the Man of Steel in a special way.
Superman, we present you with an honorary citizenship in all the countries of the United Nations.
What an honor. But of course, my main loyalty will always be to the United States, where I grew up.
The inscription on the scroll reads, Citizenship, United States, France, Australia, Brazil.
And every day, as the citizens of Metropolis look up in never-ceasing awe to see a flying figure flash by, a familiar cry often rings out.
Is it a bird? A plane?
A rocket?
No, it's Superman.
The end. Turn over the record. The action continues on page 10. Superman.
For years, the world has watched in awe as Superman has used his amazing array of superpowers. Strength that can move mountains, speed that outpaces light, and X-ray vision that can see through steel. And the world has always believed that Superman would never be the same if he lost one of these incredible talents. Yet, when the Man of Steel loses them all, he seems even stronger than before as he acquires
Superman's mystery power.
Superman, how can you help us fight crime now that you've lost all your powers?
Don't worry, Commissioner. My one new power is all I need. Just listen to those crooks around the corner.
Wham! Pow! Ow! Help! Superman! Please call off your new power!
one day, as reporter Clark Kent, secretly Superman, is at work in the office of the Daily Planet.
Clark, is it my imagination, or do you feel the building swaying, too?
I certainly do. And my X-ray and telescopic vision show disturbances deep down in the bedrock that supports all Metropolis. This is a job for Superman.
Moments later, having secretly changed to his mighty super role, the Man of Steel shears through the Earth's surface and bores downward through layers of subterranean rock. Finally, at the flaming core of the Earth.
It's lucky I can withstand these sun-hot fires. They've eaten a gap in the roof of rock above, and some of the flames are melting the substratum of stone that supports Metropolis. There's only one thing I can do to save the city.
Soon,
this flame-proof chrysolite should seal the gap and keep the flames of that raging inferno from contact with Metropolis's bedrock.
as Superman bores upward,
a midget spaceship. It was probably piloted by a tiny race from some far planet and crashed to Earth eons ago. The dust of passing ages must have buried it deeper and deeper. It would make an interesting trophy.
Suddenly...
Wham!
What? It flew up at my touch. Some strange power must have been coursing through its hull. Fortunately, I'm invulnerable, so it didn't affect me in any way.
That's what you think, Superman. Somewhat later, as the Man of Steel prepares to nab fleeing crooks.
These rays are coming from my fingers. What can they be?
It's Superman. Speed her up and smash into him.
We'll just smash up the car, but we might as well try.
Page 12. Wham!
I tried to stop that car, but I couldn't. I've lost my super strength.
We brushed him aside like a fly. He can't hurt us. Let's try to get him for good now.
But when the criminals fire at Superman, the bullets bounce off him harmlessly.
Thank heavens my body is still invulnerable, even though I've lost my super strength. Yet it's humiliating to have those cheap hoods use me for a target. I wish I could land them in jail. I wish...
An instant later...
My fingers, getting brighter and brighter. And now that burst of brilliance and...
What's that?
I can't believe it. Help! Help! We give up! Take us to jail!
Somewhat later, as reporters interview the terrified crooks in jail.
You mean he just stood there, and this new power reached out and...
Yeah, just like we said. I know it sounds crazy. You gotta see it yourself to believe it.
News of Superman's new power spreads like wildfire. And wherever he goes...
Boys, all I know is that my new power must have something to do with that spaceship I touched. just wish and my fingers glow brighter and...
And presto, the new power comes. You told us you've lost all your other powers, Superman. Well, what difference does that make, so long as you have that one?
Suddenly, as an army vehicle passes by,
Superman, thank heavens you're here. A sudden jolt set off the firing mechanism of this cannon, and it's jammed. It will go off any second.
I'll have to use my new power. Now you'll be able to see it in action. See? A tiny replica of myself. The people who made that spaceship were very advanced in science. They must have developed a force that enabled them to project an image of themselves anywhere they wanted.
as the proxy Superman flies into the cannon's mouth to prevent the shell from shooting out.
It's like telepathy. All my powers are now embodied in that midget duplicate of myself, which I can project anywhere.
A little later, as Superman explains his theory of his new power.
The only trouble is that all my powers have been transferred to that doll-sized replica of the real me. So while I have the new power, it has absorbed all my old ones. You should have seen the way it handled those crooks.
But everyone has forgotten Superman. All they talk about is his new power. That evening, as the latest news flashes atop the Daily Planet Tower,
Superman's ally dazzles.
It's terrific. He just holds out his hands and suddenly it appears.
Everyone's impressed except me. Don't they understand how I feel? Playing second fiddle to a miniature duplicate of myself. A sort of super imp.
then, as another news flash circles the tower,
Giant guided missile plummeting toward Eiffel Tower. Watch Superman's hands. He's going to use his new power again. That midget is cute.
Cute. What nonsense. Don't they realize it's not alive, but just a force I materialize in my image, which borrows my superpowers?
Page 14.
split seconds later, thousands of miles away in Paris,
Wham!
The Eiffel Tower, saved by Superman's new power. It is incredible. Never has the world seen anything like it.
next morning, as the earthbound Superman walks by the harbor,
A fire in the boiler room of that ship. This is a job for Psi. Superman's new power. I'll direct my tiny partner to enter the ship's boiler room by flying down one of its smokestacks.
yes, small as it is, Superman's projected alter ego has giant powers.
Phew. Superman's midget duplicate sure did a big job using super breath to blow out the fire.
As the days pass, Superman's picture disappears from Metropolis papers, and
Don't they realize it's me? Projecting my thoughts and powers? I commanded that infernal imp to capture that bandit.
daily, Superman proxy outwits Hold Up Man. Then, amazingly, one afternoon on a Metropolis street,
You! Give me that payroll briefcase or I'll blow the whole street up.
Must use my new power and... What? This is incredible. My midget image is doing exactly what I was about to order it to do. Unravel that sweater and use the wool to spin a cocoon at super speed. He's harmless now. That wool cocoon has secured the grenade to the lamppost. But my proxy did it before I was aware of commanding him to do it. It's acting out my thoughts before I put them into words. I'm no longer Superman. I'm just a place for that strange form to occupy. I must get rid of it. But how?
And then, one night, as Superman confronts a new emergency, he gets an idea.
A shower of meteorites heading for Metropolis. And one of them contains kryptonite, a substance that can destroy me. I'll order my image to save the city from the meteors. And if the kryptonite should destroy him, well, that's his tough luck.
Moments later, as Superman watches his midget twin soar toward the deadly kryptonite.
Great Scott! It's handling the emergency just as I would, using another meteor to deflect the kryptonite meteor so it falls harmlessly in an isolated area. I'll contact the Civil Defense Office and have them pick it up.
However, before authorities arrive...
Look, enough kryptonite to kill Superman.
Let's get it, quick.
Page 16.
Somewhat later,
Superman's coming out. He'll never be able to get out of the way in time. When he notices it, he'll be too weak to move. Ready? Aim. Fire!
shortly,
that kryptonite heading for me can kill me. Already too close for me to get out of its path. Those rays, that imp... He's eating it like rat deserting sinking ship.
However,
it's riding astride the kryptonite, using its last strength, shifting its weight from side to side, throwing Meteor off balance and steering it away. It's fading into nothingness. The kryptonite disintegrated it forever. It sacrificed itself for me, riding the Meteor into the sea where it can't harm me.
The moment the tiny image completely disappears,
I have my regular superpowers back again. I'm my old self.
Later.
I wonder, did it have a life of its own which it sacrificed for me? Or was it just carrying out my thoughts before I could put them into words? I'll never know.
The end.
Well, how did everybody like that? I'll be honest. I really liked it. I thought it was a great story. I'd like to think that the imp really was, had a life of its own, but who knows? And the first story, although we didn't get all of it, the video for it, that was great. I mean, good origin story for Superman, some stuff I hadn't known. It was fun. I truly liked it. Guys, we just hit the 1 hour mark. I know we usually go for an hour and a half. But, like my good friend Jelly said, I got to get the fucking packing. So, with that being said, we will try to do some sort of video and get it uploaded for next Thursday. It won't be a long one. It'll be a short one. But if we don't get to, at the very least, realize we will be back the next week with another story and a whole lot more bickering and fighting and arguing and talking about what the hell is going wrong with Marvel. And holy shit, I can't wait to see what James Gunn is going to do right with DC. I can't wait. For all you guys out there that come here every week and listen to these things and listen to us rattle on, thank you. You guys are awesome. And we're gonna do some old radio shows too. Can't wait to do those. I'm enjoying this stuff, and I want to keep doing it. So we're going to, whether y'all like it or not. But that being said, be good, be safe, have fun, and I will see you guys around if you don't turn square. All right? There's a nice 1960s joke for you. See you around if you don't turn square. Gary, how you doing? How you doing? You got here just in time to say goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, and all of that good stuff. Y'all be good. And remember, the more you know. See you guys later.